Hi students, let's do a brief lesson on greatest common factor. This is what your notebook will look like also if you're in my 6th grade math class. Alright, so the title would be greatest common factor. And then of course you want to have your date there and then some type of, I like a little boundary. Anything is okay. Alright, so the greatest common factor. Greatest common factor, we'll call it the GCF, is the largest or greatest factor that is true of both your numbers. It could even be more than 2 numbers, but usually they'll give you like 2 numbers and you got to figure out which is the greatest common factor. For example, if you have a number like, let's use 16, and you have another, let's say 16, and we'll do 48. So we want to find the greatest factor that's a factor of both of those numbers. So the first thing is to just write a list of factors. Now I gave a previous lesson and I could show it also right here quickly, but to the side of your notebook, how to use a rainbow to find factors. So you take the 16 at the top and then you just think 1 times, oops, I made a mistake. 1 times 16 equals 16. So those are both factors. And then you can look at 2. Is 2 a factor of 16? Yes, it is. 2 times 8 gives me 16. And next I can look at 3. Is 3 a factor of 16? No, it's not. What about 4? Is 4 a factor of 16? Yes, it is. 4 times 4 is 16. That means that 16 is also a square number, right? And once you get to 4 times 4, you don't have to keep going and think about 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 because you're just going to end up at the turnaround fact. So right now at the bottom of your rainbow, you have a list of all the factors of 16, and you don't have to list 4 twice. So now up here next to your colon, you're going to list out the factors of 16. 1, which is sort of, its own kind of number, and then 2. 4 is a factor of 16. We're not going to list it twice. And then 8 is a factor of 16. And then so is 16. And then you're going to do the same thing for your other number. You're going to make a list for your other number, 48. And then we're going to find all the factors of 48 and we're going to list them. So we're going to start with 1 times 48. We know we always have that starting place is 48. And then 2 times what? 24, right? 2 times 24 gives me 48. Ooh, 3 is a factor of 48. 3 times 16 gives me 48. 4 is a factor of 48 because 4 times 12 gives me 48. I'm a little worried about running out of space. 5 is not a factor of 48 because it doesn't end in a 5 or a 0. 6 is a factor because you have 6 times 8 is 48, and 7 is not, because 7 times 7 is 49, and no 7s will give us 48. So here are all the factors in order. We're going to list them up here. I like to kind of keep them right in line below because it makes the next step easier. So 1 is a factor, 2 is a factor, 3 is a factor, and 4 is a factor, and 6 is a factor, 8 is a factor, 12 is, 16 is, 24 is, and 48 is. All of those numbers are factors of 48. So now all you do is you're looking for the largest the largest in this list that is in both of our lists. So we're just going to look, and so we can start with the largest on our shorter list, 16. And 16 is a factor of 16, and 16 is a factor of 48. So the GCF of those two numbers is 16 because it's the largest number that's in both lists. Let's do one more example. So let's see, we can do, let's do 39 and 15. Those are going to be the two numbers we're going to work on. Sometimes the larger is listed first, sometimes the smaller. Doesn't really matter. So let's look at this 39 and make up our list. Use a little scratch paper to make my rainbow over here. So I got 39. 1 times 39. 2 is not a factor because it's not an even number. 3 is a factor. 3 times 13. And those are both prime numbers, so I'm probably not going to have any more factors, but I can check. 4, nope, not even. 5, nope, doesn't end in a 0 or a 5. 6, nope, because 6 times 6 is 36, and then that's not going to give me enough for the next one. 7, nope, and 8, nope, 9, nope, 10, nope, and now we're back to 13. Or 10, 11, and 12 are also not factors. So here is my list of factors of 39. Let me write it up here. So with a comma between 1, 3, 13, and 39. Now I'm going to do the same thing for my 15. And maybe with a number like 15, maybe you don't need to write the rainbow because you can just figure out what the factors are pretty easily. The rainbow is a tool. It's not a part of knowing the answer. It's just a tool to help you find the answer. 2 will not be a factor of 15. 3 is, because 3 times 5. 4 is not. 5, we're back at the turnaround. 5 times 3. So that's our list of factors. So for 15, I'll write 1, 3, 5, and 15. In this case, when I'm looking for the greatest common factor, the largest number that's in both lists of factors, I can see that the only number, aside from 1, that's in both lists is 3. So that is the greatest common factor because it's the only common factor. GCF is 3. All right, that'll do it. Do some more practice ones on your own. I'll give you practice ones not connected to this video.